$700 1985 Honda XL 600R, street legal with title, and it's pretty clean. All complete except for the rear blinkers. You can see they were cut off at one point. No cracks in the plastics, no rips in the seat, no dents in the gas tank. Thing is pretty clean. It's been sitting for a couple of years, the owner said. He said he thinks it's low compression. He put it away. He couldn't get it to run. He said it's either low compression or needs a good carb cleaning. But engine's gonna clean up good. You can see it's just been sitting for a long time. Chain and sprockets look pretty decent. You can see some light surface rust in the chain, but I think that's just from sitting so long. It's got the headlight on there still. Tires look good. So for 700 bucks, I think we did pretty good. Let's take a look at how many miles are on it. Ooh, it does have high mileage. 14,726 miles. So that is pretty high. It's got dual carbs. And it looks like it has the manual decompression mechanism, which is pretty nice. These things are a pain to start. I believe they made these bikes from 83 to 87. So this is an 85, so right in the middle. So it's supposed to be a pretty reliable bike. And these things are pretty much bulletproof, if you can start them. So today's goal is to get this thing running, driving by the end of the video. And we'll take it for a nice long ride, if we can get it running, of course. But if we can get this thing running, and we only paid 700 bucks for it, this would be a crazy good deal. Alright, little walk around. Pretty cool looking bike. It is pretty big though. It's not small. And it's pretty heavy. It's nice it has a kickstand on it still. Alright, just for fun, let's see if she fires up here. Turn it on. Looks like our battery's dead right off the bat. But we'll kick this thing over. We've got the boot on. We'll be using that a lot today. Yeah, that's a no-go. It does feel like low compression to me. Should definitely be harder to kick over than that. Alright, bike's in the garage. Let's take a look at the oil here. See what that looks like. Oil is in the frame on this bike. And it's hard to check it if it hasn't been running. But it looks pretty clear based on that. We'll have to check it by draining it later on in the video. It does have the key, so that's good. But nothing lights up when you turn the key on, so guessing there's a battery in here somewhere. All right, left side plastic coming off first. Looks like we've got access to the air box here. This will pull out of here. There we go. Air filter looks perfect. Looks brand new. And then there looks like there's a screen in there that prevents mice from going in there. See that? Well, that's kind of nice. So air filter definitely checks out. Right side plastic coming off here. Let's see what's behind here. There's the battery. Look at that. Everything looks really good. Got the fuse on there yet. Pull it out and just check it. Alright, I think we can get the battery out now. Just a little guy. Got the battery hooked up to the charger. It's blinking red, so that means it's not charging. So, most likely we need a new battery, unfortunately. We're gonna try to take these caps off and pour some distilled water in there. See if that makes a difference. Alright, using a little distilled water here. Pour a little bit in the battery. I already filled up some of the cells, but they were pretty empty. So typically, this only works if you have a bunch of acid in there already. So I don't think that's going to bring it back. Yeah, it's still blinking. So, most likely battery's toast. We'll let that sit for a little bit. See if we can bring it back. That would save me probably 60 bucks or more. Alright, jumper pack going on. Let's see what the heck happens here. See if anything lights up. There's ground. Here's positive. Let's see if anything lights up here. There we go. Alright. Doesn't look like the blinkers are working. Horn's working. Wonder if the lights only work when you have the bike running. Seat is really nice. a couple different things. Looks like a voltage regulator there. A couple wires. Looks like they're all connected. We've got lights up at the top, so I'm guessing all the wiring is intact still. See if we're getting good gas flow out of here. Looks like it. So petcock is definitely working. That's reserve. Let's see if on works. I think there's only a little bit of gas in the tank. So reserve is working great. Let's see what that gas looks like. The guy said he put brand new gas in it. I'm trying to get this thing to start this year before he sold it. And he could not get it to start. So it looks like brand new gas. No water in the gas tank. Alright, so petcock is definitely working. That is not the problem. And there's zero rust in the tank too. Not a speck of rust in there. Holy cow. I've never seen that before. 1985. Not a speck of rust. That is extremely rare. Not a speck of rust on here either. On the cap. Wow. So we've got easy access to the valves. We've got the two intake valves, two exhaust valves over here, and easy access to the spark plug right down in there. But you've got the CDI up here, coil. All those are connected. You've got the dual carbs. You can see they kind of go in on an angle like that. Hopefully those won't be too hard to get out. It looks like they're connected pretty good. And I believe there's only choke on one carb right here. So there's the choke. You can see that's working. And throttle. It's working. Alright, we've got one of these old spark plug tools here. That usually fits right down in there perfectly. So now we can get a wrench on there and try to spin that. And that is on there. Oh, there we go. They make the spark plug a little hard to get to. It's coming. It's pretty sticky. It's just been sitting so long, everything's a little tight on it. Plug looks pretty white. Hopefully it wasn't running lean and wrecked the piston or something. Could just be a new plug too. Alright, does it have spark? Go on the other side and check. What do you guys think? Try kicking this thing over. Key on. Oh yeah. Alright, key off. No spark. Alright, so the ignition's working. Really good spark. Alright, let's do a compression check. Per the manual, it's supposed to be 175 pounds of compression with the throttle held open. So we'll see what we're at. I don't think we're there. If I can get this tester in, here we go. Looks like it's going. Alright, I don't even think we're close to that amount. We're looking for right around this area. There's no way. Decompression mechanism. So. Alright, we're only getting 80 pounds of compression right now. So that is not good. We're really low. So first thing I want to check is the decompression mechanism. Make sure there's enough slack in there, because if it's not, it'll be holding those valves open all the time. Alright, and we'll check compression again, see if it goes up a little bit. You can see it doesn't get hard until right there. Alright, throttle open. Continue to kick this thing over. It's not going up at all. So it was not the lever. I'm hoping it's tight intake valves. So we can check the valves next, make sure those aren't tight. Alright, we're using a 24mm socket to get these valve caps off. Oh, those are on there, pretty good. Oh my gosh, I don't think those have ever been taken off. Hopefully this will do the trick. Oh. Oh. That is no joke. Those were on there. I'd be really surprised if the intake valves weren't tight. Oh, man. Those are loose. Those weren't as tight on this side. Now we're coming down to the stator side. Try to get these caps off. Somebody said in my comments to take a quarter and try to get those off. So let's do that. Got a quarter here. I don't think that's going to be strong enough. It just slips right out. Yeah, it's bending the quarter. It doesn't fit in that groove. I think that's already kind of stripped out. That's why that's not working. Yeah, you can see the quarter is just bending like that. So that did not work. You can see why the guy never adjusted the valves. I think that moved a little bit here. Thought it budged. Yeah, that's budging. There we go. Everything's just extremely tight. New. it's moving a little bit. Is that enough to turn it? There we go. Whew. I think what happens is these O-rings get so caught on there. Using 17mm socket, we're going to turn this thing counterclockwise until we see the T. I think I saw it right there actually. There's the F. There's the T right there. There it is, up in there. T with the line. Lines up with the notch in the case right there. So we are perfectly at top dead center. We're going to check the valves on the exhaust side. You can see those move up and down. And intake are moving up and down a little bit. Yeah, that one's moving up and down too, so. Intake valves are not tight. Ha ha ha. Not good. That means it's not a tight valve. We've got this last cap off over here just to make sure that was not tight. You can hear the play in there. Alright, intake valve clearance specs are 2/1000ths of an inch, and the exhaust are 4/1000ths. So that is pretty small. So I think these are going to be perfectly within spec here. Yeah, that slides right in. That's 2/1000ths. Great. 2/1000ths feeler gauge. Let's see if it slides right in. Yep, slides right in. And then the exhaust. I already know these are going to be good, but we'll check them. Anyway, these are going to be 4/1000ths. Let's just check them. Perfect. And perfect. So the valve clearances are not the problem. We're going to try squirting a little oil down the cylinder, and we're going to see if that compression spikes up. We've got a little Marvel Mystery Oil mixed with 2-stroke oil. A little combo going in. Spark what hole is here. There we go. Alright, there we go. Who thinks it's going to go up? Alright, so we're looking for 175. It's right in this area. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Caught right there. Ooh. So I think that ring is stuck in there because we put oil down there and the compression went way up. It actually stopped my foot from kicking it over. So we just put a bunch of Marvel Mystery Oil in there. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit, see if those rings free up. All right, while we're letting this Marvel Mystery sit in the cylinder for a little bit to free up those rings, we'll get the carbs off and go through those. See what those look like. Get your choke off of here. Yeah, warm those up a little bit. These rubbers get really hardened. So this will soften up those rubbers. Hopefully. Manifolds. Giving me a little bit of a hard time. So these are a pain in the butt to get off. These are probably the worst carburetors to get off. They are horrible. I'm taking off the top caps here. Give us a little bit more clearance. Those come off with the screws, and you can actually get to both of them if you take off the cables. It's coming. I think we can get it out through here, maybe. Alright. So this piece is going to be a pain in the butt. So this has to come forward and out like that. Let's see, this one's going in. Come on, baby. It's pouring gas everywhere. Wow. I think we're almost out. This is the worst design ever. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be fun getting back in. That is gonna be horrible. That was an absolute nightmare to take off. Alright, we're gonna do one carb at a time here. So we're gonna do the, let's see, this is the left carb first. See how bad these look. After sitting how many years, what this thing looks like. Ooh, there's a little gunk in there. Looks like it might just be from the gas tank though. Yeah, a little gunk. Nothing too serious. It definitely could have clogged a pilot or a main. That one's clear. Oh yeah. Needle. Looks good. Not much to it. That looks pretty good too. Main jet's not clogged. Running a 118 main. Seems small. Alright, we'll get the pilot out of there. Let's see. Nope, pilot was clear. Running a 70 pilot. Wow, that's really big. Let's see what the fuel screw is at here. 1, 2, exactly 2 turns out on the fuel screw. So we'll set that to the same setting. There's a little spring. So that all looks good. We'll blow that out with compressed air and brake cleaner. I'll move on to the next one, but we're going to reassemble this one before moving on. Alright, left carb is all cleaned out, put back together. Let's take a look at the right side. That one's really clean. That was pretty much spotless. Needle. Feels good. Get her main out of here. A little gunked up, you can see. 115 for the main. That's open. Looking good. And then this one doesn't have a pilot. Interesting. And it doesn't have a fuel screw either. Be right in there. So that all looks good. Alright, so really not much of that carb. That carb looked pretty good. So we'll blow that one out with brake cleaner and compressed air, put that back together, and get this whole assembly back on the bike, which should be very exciting. Alright, took me like 30 minutes to get those carbs back on. We got the spark plug back in, and we've been letting this thing sit with oil down the cylinder for probably an hour and a half. So we'll get the gas tank back on, get some gas to it, and we'll see if this thing fires up. If it doesn't, we'll do leak down tests and see where that compression leak is coming from. Pretty sure it's the rings, but we'll make sure. Alright, so the starting procedure for this is going to be kicking it over until you find top dead center. And you'll find top dead center because the kickstart will stop moving down. It'll be really hard. And then what we're going to do is holding the decompression lever right here, hold that down, and kick it over a couple more inches past top dead center. Then you'll let the lever come back up, and then one full kick, and it should fire up. And we'll do that until it fires. And you want to use the choke as well. burning off all that oil we put down the cylinder. It's idling. It's a good sign. Lights are working. Still smoking pretty good. Not too bad. Still smoking though. We'll let this run for a bit. Hopefully those piston rings can get free. Not too bad. The smoke is clearing up. In the cylinder. I cannot believe that thing fired up with 80 pounds of compression. Alright, well, the question is, will it start back up? I'm a little afraid it's not going to start back up. But we're going to let this run just a little bit longer. Well, that was extremely lucky. You could see me, I was kicking this thing over and it looked like I had zero compression. So what I did to start this thing up for the first time was actually twist the throttle back all the way, and that actually gave me more compression. So I think the spark just ignited the fuel at the correct time and it took off, and now it seems like we gained compression. So I think the rings were stuck because I can't push down on it at all. So we gained back that compression somehow, some way. So I think the rings were stuck from sitting so long, and that was the culprit. But I think the Marble Mystery oil saved us once again. I think the longer you run this thing, the more those rings will get freed up, and then the easier it will be to start each time. I just still can't believe this thing fired up. That is crazy. Get that back in the slot here. Alright, so this white sticker just kind of peels off like this. So we're going to take a scraper and just kind of scrape that off, and then get this sticker off as well. It should just peel right off of here. Alright, got the bike all cleaned up. Looking pretty good. So let's attempt to start this thing back up, see if it starts easier, and then we can attempt to ride it. Hopefully the transmission's good. We're getting lucky so far. First kick, not bad. Feels like it has a lot more compression too. So I think she's fixed. Now we're going to check the oil. Wipe it off. Yeah, it's a little bit low. See, a little bit more than halfway, so we are good. Let's see if this thing moves. Like I said before, hopefully the transmission's good. Everything else on the bike is perfect. Brakes all work. Chain sprockets are good. Tires are good. And now it starts first kick every time. So, will this $700 bike move and shift through all the gears? Wow, wow, wow. This thing is running flawlessly. Shifts through all the gears perfectly. Brakes all work. Super smooth. Suspension feels really good. Everything is just spot on. Doesn't bog, doesn't sputter. Thing is mint. I mean, look how clean this bike is. All it's missing is the blinkers and the little heat shield right here for the pipe. But look how nice those plastics turned out. It is looking sharp. So I'm really happy with this one. I took a huge risk. This one could have needed a full rebuild, but turned out carb clean, and putting some Marvel mystery oil down the cylinder fixed it. Well, we were able to get this 1985 Honda XL 600R fired up and driving today. Wasn't too bad. Carb clean, little Marvel mystery oil down the cylinder, and this thing fired right up. That does not happen very often. I fully assumed that we were going to have to do a full top end teardown and rebuild on this thing, but we got really lucky and it ended up being just a stuck ring, which we were able to free up by the Marvel mystery oil. So hopefully you guys enjoyed picking this thing up for 700 bucks, diagnosing this thing, and then taking it for the first ride. Always fun working on a Honda. They usually always run. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video, and until next time, we are out.